Hello. This week I'm going to talk about what we did for our first week of Fame. We started the week by doing our first script read-through as a cast, and we listened to all of the songs on the soundtrack just to get a kind of gist of what the story is about for those of us who didn't necessarily know what was going on. And at this point I'm not sure what songs in the ensemble I'm going to be in, because me and Trinity have been double casted as Mr. Myers or Mrs. Myers for Trinity. So we're not too sure on that yet, but I will keep you updated. We then learn the harmonies for Hard Work, which is the opening number, and Mr. Myers is teaching his class like acting is the hardest profession in the world. He is showing his class that it's the most important thing. They need to work the hardest on that. It is something that that is needed to be done, and essentially all of the teachers do that for their chosen subject. So after we did that, we did the harmonies. So I'm in group 1, which is a part of the harmony, and again one of our feedback for that was when doing I Pray I Make PA, which is the beginning of Hard Work. I think they're 2 separate songs, but they go into each other, and it was for our harmony group, not to slow down the tempo, which is something I have to work on. I think with that song, because of the way that it's written, our group of boys tend to push it further, and it needs to stop. We need to stop doing that, and I think we need to nip it in the bud before it becomes really difficult to do. And then we also started to block. As a part of Mr. Myers, we come on the stage and we are overlooking all of the students that have just been accepted into PA. At this point, I hadn't done much character development. I haven't done much research on it because it's the first week. So I took my own take on it, and I went for a drama teacher that is very firm but fair. And that is the kind of what's the word for it? Like firm and fair. Like I wanted to showcase that when looking at all of the students being like, oh, getting really like judgy kind of thing. And I think what I might do is look at different styles of that character. It could be whether or not he is really charismatic, whether or not he's a very serious character. And I think he has got to be serious, because also when we looked and read through the script, he has lots of scenes with Carmen, which are very sensitive scenes. But then he's very different than when he has a scene with Joe. And essentially tells them to stop being silly and stop and like to take acting serious, which then reflects also what he says in the opening number. And then we looked into character styles, what we mean when we sing, and looking at the story the character has. So yesterday we edited our script, and I'm going to put that on my logs, and we essentially looked at what would happen if they were given circumstances. What is the background of the character? What is his purpose, and how would he stand, and why would he stand like that? Looking at the interactions in the different scenes with other characters, and look at possible outcomes for all of those scenes. What is the story of that scene? Where does Mr. Myers come from? And what is his position as a drama teacher? What does he want to give his students? And that is something that I'm going to develop over time. And I also, because I'm not sure on what songs I'm in yet for the ensemble, I don't want to start doing character development for that when I don't necessarily know what I'm going to be doing. I think that would be quite pointless, and I don't want to get ahead of myself and write down something and research something that just isn't relevant. But that is what we did. It was very productive, and we got quite a lot done. Unfortunately, when I'm not playing Mr. Myers for the other 2 show nights, I will not even be in the opening number of Hard Work, but still I've learnt all the harmonies, so there is no saying that I can't sing off stage, which again shows the versatility of being double casted, because you have the opportunity to do both, which is something that I'm very excited to do. But that is essentially what we did so far. I haven't started my research yet, because that is something that I'm going to do today. I would like to research the character, what he, again, like his story, how would he portray himself, all those kinds of things. So that is my research for today, and something that I am going to put in my logs. However, that is what we've done so far. Lovely.